Greetings, Wildcat fans. I'm Marvin James, and this is the Fort Valley State University Coaches Show featuring Coach Don Pittman. Coach, a great day in the Valley, a little bad weather outside, but we're talking about a big win this past Saturday at New Wildcat Stadium.
It's always a good day when you win, Marvin.
That's right.
We had a good week.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the matchup with Kentucky State. We knew it was a little more of a rivalry, a little more animosity on the line, as you talked about last week. Let's talk about that game.
Well, Joshua Dean and his father, Vernon Dean, and Frank Turner, they both was, all three of them was a part of the staff, and very good coaches. Josh went to Kentucky State as an assistant coach, and later on became a head coach, and he brought his dad and Frank with him. They were very good coaches, and they knew all our secrets, and the ambushes when we went up there a year ago. So we've been waiting a whole year to try to get back at them. And they came to our house, and they were saying this used to be their house, and they was going to control it, but we showed them difference.
All right. Now, when the green and gold took the field at 2 o'clock, it was a little warmer than we anticipated. Talk about how the weather played a difference in the ball game.
Well, first of all, I told the team I don't know why Kentucky State going to come down here with those ugly green uniforms. And they took the heat pretty well. We thought they was going to bother them, but they had the endurance to play the whole game, and they played hard.
Now, it was a kind of evenly matchup offensively. We had 281 total yards, rushing for 186 and passing for 95. Talk about what was the key to the success on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, in all the bottom line because we won the game, they had 5 turnovers. We had 2, and I think that made the biggest difference. 2 of those turnovers we scored on them instantly. Besides that, we worked all week for a running game, and we had our first rusher this year go over 100 yards, Jalen White. So we ran the ball pretty well successfully, and we got a chance to play action, pass on them. We hit them with a pretty long pass off of play action to set up a touchdown. So everything went well. We wanted to perform better on offense, but we'd take it as long as we win.
Let's talk about that play a little bit. I think it was it Cam who threw the ball, or was it Otis who handed off to him?
Otis was at quarterback.
Okay,
and
that's right.
Edie was at tailback. He handed off. We flexed the Statue of Liberty, which we scored on last week. And this time we handed to Edie, and he sprinted out to the right 2 or 3 steps, and he threw it back to Walker, and we call it old school, go back play. And it was very successful. The lineman got into Malcolm's face, so he had to escape, and he threw a little bit behind Walker, and Walker had to make a great catch.
He did make an awesome catch.
If it had been right on point, he would have scored, but he made a very good catch.
And again, it has to be pretty beneficial for you and let the creative juices flow when you got 2 guys in the backfield that can throw the ball like that.
It's fun. This is like playing a video game. You try to move around and show different looks and what have you. And the defense have to be honest, because Malcolm and Otis are good runners. So when they hand them the ball and have the ball in their hand, they have to be prepared to stop the run so we can catch them off balance with the pass.
Okay. Now on the flip side, the Blue Death defense definitely showed up, led by Bernard Little. Welcome back to Bernard. He had a great showing.
Oh, it was good having Bernard back. He made a big difference, and the rotation was great. He ran on that during the game. So it's very nice to get a little rest here. So he liked the rotation of the 3 inside defensive linemen. So I think it's going to be a heck of a combination to run against those 3 guys. And we might be getting a 4th one next week. Sam Good should be getting back into the lineup. So our defense played well. You can say it was a defensive game.
Oh, yes.
Kentucky State defense, I take my hat off to those guys. They played well also. They have a very good front, and they contain us pretty well.
We're going to brag on Mr. Little just a little bit. He was the SIAC Defensive Player of the Week for Week 6. He had 10 tackles, 3 solos, 3.5 tackles for loss. We'll say 2 sacks. Not the 3 sacks that we said before, right?
We'll give him 3.
Okay, we'll give him 3 sacks.
This pass will never make mistakes.
Okay, and 2 quarterback hurries. I mean, that's a full ball game in itself. And then we turn around, we look at LaRon Furr. Of course, he's not going to have a quiet day. He had 10 tackles apiece. Stephon Harper had 9 tackles. Overall, great day by the defense.
Bernard, hadn't played in 4 weeks, and to come and be able to come out with a week's practice and play that well, that just goes to show you how you can dominate this conference. And he can get better every week. So with him playing that way and the rest of the defense playing that way, we should be very successful.
Okay. Talk about just, the week of practice last week. What was your mindset going into that, coming off the loss from Tuskegee, getting back into conference play and hoping to bounce back? What was the attitude of the week of practice?
We had some very intense practices. We know that we couldn't afford to lose another conference game. Right now, the East and the West games count against each other, count against your record. Last year, it only was the East. So right now, we can't afford to lose one game at all. We already have one game that we lost this year. And for us to be successful so far as winning conference championship, every game counts. Now, Limestone won't count against us, but for the record, and we've taken it as though it is a conference game because we want to beat them and we want to be ranked high at the end of the season for playoffs, because that's our goal, is to make it to the playoffs. Win conference championship and go to the playoffs.
Okay. And I'd be remiss if I didn't give props out to special teams. The kick squad actually showed up and showed out on Saturday as well. Juan Cerna was 3 for 4 out of field goals. Had a 37-yarder, was his longest. And the one thing that was really impressive on the punt, he had a 69-yard punt. Anytime that you can get the ball that deep into the other opponent's territory, it's got to be a good thing.
Yeah, we're really blessed having Juan be part of the team. He's just as effective as Marquette King, Jason Rosenbaum. He's a very talented guy. He can operate under pressure. And we tell him to kick it to the left side of the field, outside the numbers, on the 20-yard line, he can do that. Or we tell him to do a sky kick and kick it to the right side, outside the numbers. He also can do that, man. He can punt, he kick off, he does it all. He's a very talented guy, and we're really proud that he's a proud part of that team. And that's why the kicking game is so successful, because of Juan.
Very good. All right. Kentucky State is in the rear view. We are 4-2, 3-1 overall in the conference, and that's the most important thing. We'll be back with more.
Being a Wildcat takes courage. Fear is not an option on the field. Being a Wildcat takes belief. Doubt has no room under a helmet. Being a Wildcat takes dedication. The goal is to bring home a championship to our FVSU family. It's been a long time coming, but the time is here. The team is focused, excited, and ready to get this season started to show just how good we are. Season tickets are on sale now at WildcatTicketOffice.com.
Welcome back, Wildcat fans. I'm Marvin James. I'm sitting here with Roosevelt White, the defensive tackle with Fort Valley State, part of that Blue Depth defense. Roosevelt, talk to me a little bit about your style of playing with such a dynamic defense.
Well, for me, my thing is, first I would just want to come in and play assignment football. Want to do what Coach Jones teaches us during the week and just do what I can to help my team win. If that's coming in as a starter, coming in off the bench, giving rotation reps to the other players, and getting penetration in the passing game when other teams prepare to throw.
There's a lot of energy on that side of the ball. You got Bernard Little, you got Furr, and even Barker. We know how he likes to chirp it up a little bit. Right. Talk about how that just you guys feed off of one another once the game starts.
Playing with a group of guys like them, you have no choice but to step your game up, step your energy level up, because when Harper and Furr in the huddle, they're going to give it to you when you do good. They're going to give it to you when you do bad. So, and as far as Bernard, it's good to have him back. And this was my first time getting a chance to play with him. So I look forward to me and him causing more havoc in games to come.
Now, you're from McGee, Mississippi. We're talking about how Mississippi is on the map this year. Talk about that style, how proud of you are. I guess a lot of times Mississippi doesn't get that recognition for playing great football as the other southern states. What are you trying to represent when you play?
When I play, I just want to represent, and I want everyone to know that I am from Mississippi. I think I'm the only guy on this team from Mississippi. And the first thing, is that we play tough football.
Mhm.
We work hard. We have the same 100-degree heat everybody else have in the South. And I think it actually gets a little colder because we get snow every year in Mississippi now for like the last 5 years. So we're a tough breed athlete, and we're ready to play at any time.
Good. That's recruiting purposes for Coach right there. Now, this past game, you had 2 tackles, 2 solos. You had a tackle for loss and a sack. Is it watching Bernard Little help you a little bit? I mean, does that give you, I guess, a great example to watch and emulate?
Well, Bernard, he's the type of guy, even when he wasn't playing, he'll pull you over to the side and give you little hints and little tips,
Okay.
things that he used to get free on the line.
Right.
He'll pass them on to you. And I'm a guy that's open for knowledge from anyone.
Okay. Now, how much? What are you expecting out of this group that's coming into town on Saturday? What have you been able to see?
Well, from the film we watched this morning, they got a tall offensive line. They're big. And as a coach and our other teammates said, they are a startup program, but we can't take them lightly. And when they take one look at us, they probably don't want to run the ball. But we're going to be prepared for that, and we're ready to shut it down either way, passing or running.
Roosevelt White, defensive tackle with Fort Valley State, looking to shut down Limestone this Saturday. Stay with us.
What is Fort Valley State University? It's more than students, more than faculty. It's more than brick and mortar buildings or a sports team or a mascot. Fort Valley State University is belief in a dream and the promise of education and the ability to overcome adversity. Fort Valley State is believing in your own potential and knowing that your contributions on this earth make a difference. Fort Valley is opening your mind to new possibilities and embracing a world of change without fear. What is Fort Valley State University? It's not living in the past or being content with the present. It's all of us working together to be better tomorrow than we are today. We are strong. We are proud. We are determined. We are Fort Valley State University.
Welcome back, Wildcats. I'm Marvin James. I'm here with running back Jonquez Sanders from Taylor County, a local product here at Fort Valley State. Talk to us a little bit about the running game here at Fort Valley. You guys got a stable running backs.
Yes, it's really each night or each day, should I say, anybody could come in and contribute in a way that coach gives them a chance to, regardless if that's in the pass game, running game, or blocking. Because even position, when you come in, it matters. Like, that point in time, it matters. So, when your chance is called, you just got to be ready to go and play.
Okay. And how was that? I mean, it's got to be pretty good, confident level when you're on the sideline to be able to see whoever's in there at the time. Can it be, easily get the job done, but at the same time, you're capable of doing that as well. So it must be pretty competitive during practice.
Yeah, it's very competitive. Sometimes we be trying to jump in front of each other just to get reps because we know, like, whoever shows up that week, that's who's going to play. You know what I'm saying? Coach don't just show favoritism. It's whoever competes at the highest level during the week, that's who's going to play on Saturday.
Okay. Now, one of the things we've talked about in the past with the different styles of quarterback play with Otis and with Malcolm, talk about that a little bit, about how having those two different guys in the huddle, that if they touch the ball, they can go as well. But if you get the ball, just, I guess, how does that flow? Just having those two different guys in there.
I mean, either way it go, either with Malcolm or with Otis, either one on me and something big can happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just actually blocking for them. Sometimes you want to sit back and watch, but you watch it going to the bench. But that's some pretty exciting guys to watch. Both of them bring good positive notes to the team.
Okay. Now, I do have a little personal experience. Remember covering you down in Taylor County. You had a lot of power and speed. I mean, talk about your game and what's the versatility with you coming, when you step onto the field.
I mean, it's a difference from high school, you know what I'm saying, because everybody's running the same speed and stuff like that. So you have to play with a lot more power as far as my position, because I'm not a 4-3 guy. So you have to play with a lot of power, and basically just getting downhill and making sure that the first man never tackles you.
Okay, so you get past that first level, everything is a little more downhill. So the linebackers and safeties need to worry. Watch out. Okay, what we're looking forward to this week. This week we got Limestone.